A multiple comparison procedure for comparing 4 treatment means. Produce the confidence intervals shown below. Rank the means from smallest to largest. Indicate which means are significantly different. Okay, so again, it's like a computer output that's showing us the confidence intervals that they constructed. It tells us how they did the subtraction in the interval, and it shows us the resulting interval. So we have, mean A minus mean B to produce this interval, mean A minus mean C to produce this one, so on and so forth, right? So just like when we have a computer doing the intervals for us, when we do the multiple comparison procedures, we have to do the interpretation at the end. And they want us to rank the means from smallest to largest. Okay, so let's go through and interpret each of these intervals. I've recopied them over here on the right. What we want to do again is to identify the interval as being either all positive or all negative or mixed. If it's mixed, it means that the means are not significantly different. If they're all positive, it means the first mean is bigger than the second one. And it means if they're both negative, that the second mean is bigger than the first, if they're both negative. We don't have an interval in this problem where they're both negative. Okay, but anyways, let's look at the problem then, starting with the first interval. And we'll say, okay, we can see that it's a mixed interval, so they're not significantly different from one another. However, we can see that it's more negative than it is positive. The distance from -8 to 0 is much greater than the distance from 0 to 2. Since it's more negative, then it's basically almost like saying that it's all negative, even though it isn't. But if it was all negative, we'd say the second mean was bigger than the first. So since it's more negative than positive, we'll say that the second mean, which is mean B, that mean is greater than or equal to mean A. Now the equal to part is there because we have the 0 in the interval. Because the interval contains 0, it's telling us that it's possible these two means are equal, and that's why I have to include the equal to sign. Okay, now look at this interval. It's completely positive, which means the first mean was bigger than the second one, so we have A is just greater than C. No equal to here because we don't have 0 inside the interval. Now I have mean A minus mean D, and the interval is positive, so we're going to say that A is greater than D. Here we have a scenario where they're both positive, so we'll have B minus C, where B therefore is bigger than C, again because the interval is completely positive. Again, a completely positive interval, it means that B is bigger than D. And lastly, we have C minus D, producing an interval that's mixed. It's got negative and positives, so it has 0 in there, so we know they're not significantly different from one another, but we can say that it's more positive than it is negative. From 0 to 9 is a greater distance than from -2 to 0, so since it's more positive, the first guy is a little bigger than the second one, so we'll say C is greater than or equal to D. The equal to leaves the possibility open that the real difference is 0. All right, so that's our set of statements. Let's try to interpret them now. Let's put a scale here at the bottom from small to large, just to remind us which way we put the means. So if a mean is smaller, like here, A is smaller than B, I'm going to put B ahead of A. So B would be before A. Now here it says that A is greater than C, so I definitely want to put C behind A. And it says A is greater than D, so I want to put D behind, but does it go here or does it go there? That's the question. So we'll come back and answer that later, but we know that A is bigger than D, so D's got to be to the left, right? Now B is greater than C. Well, we already have that shown here. B is greater than D. That would also be shown here. C greater than or equal to D. So C is a little bigger than D, so let's put D on the left-hand side of C on the small side. So we'll cross that out, it doesn't go there. And then we have essentially the following setup. We have D, C, A, B. However, we want to join the ones that have the equal to signs. So that BA, we should join them, and the CD, we should join them. And so that's basically our statement here. We have the idea that C is bigger than D, but not significantly bigger. We have the idea that B is bigger than A, but not significantly bigger. But we can say that A is significantly bigger than C. You can see that they're not joined, and A is to the right. A is bigger than D. Again, they're not joined. A and D are not joined, and A is to the right, so that shows that A is bigger than D. B is bigger than C. You can see that B is to the right of C, and they're not joined together, so of course it means that they are significantly different, and B is higher. B is greater than D, and finally C is greater than or equal to D. So all of them check out, so this is our answer then for the problem. That's our diagram that lists or ranks the means.